up? Hey. Some for you. Some for you. Hey, don't be a dick. That was for the little one. Stupid birds.
Here, let me...
You gotta spread it out. Throw it out in a clump and they fight over it.
I know how to do it.
So do it. Sometimes I practice with the fire out here. It's safer. No people around. Lots of water.
Is it magic, or...?
It's not magic. My mother says the Kunari used to be closer to dragons. Something in our blood.
The Antom called you a Dari?
Yeah. Old Kunari word for fire breather. A few like me are born every generation. My mother thinks the Dari were meant for something special. She's always looking through the old texts for clues. Come on. Don't want to scare the birds. My mother left the Qun not far from here. She got herself transferred to Kontar from Parvalan. Smuggled me there and then walked out.
I thought Kontar was well fortified. How did she escape with a child?
The Qun isn't a prison. People can leave if they want. You little guys hungry?
Do you miss living under the Qun?
Not much to miss. I was a baby. My mother misses it. She was an Ashkari back then. A scholar.
Why'd she leave?
Me. There's enough for all of you. Shathan was worried about what the Kunari would do with a fire breather like me.
What would they do?
She said they'd have me put in the Antom, use me as a berserker. The idea scared her enough that she left her library and walked away from the Qun. There you go. Come on. Over here's where I practice.
Why not on the beach?
Don't want to scare the birds. We just fed them. What the crap is that?
The Antom must be marking their territory.
Not on my beach. Vash Vatari! Come on. These banners need to burn. Yep.
Nice. What does it feel like when you breathe fire like that?
It's more like spitting.
Ew.
Something inside my throat opens up and lets stuff mix together. Then there's this rush of heat as I roar it out.
I'm surprised it doesn't hurt your mouth to do that.
It can. One time my tongue got in the way. Got a mouthful of fire.
Oh, ouch.
Didn't hurt much. My mother has to make food extra spicy so I can taste it.
I guess that's the trade-off of being a fire breather.
It's fine. I smell stuff better than most people.
An on-Tom supply cache. Too bad it's locked up.
Not for long. Watch. All right.
Wow. It burned right through it.
Yep. Melt some metals, not all.
How'd you figure out which kinds of metals you could melt?
My mother said I went through a lot of spoons as a baby. This way.
More birds to feed?
Something like that. Garage. It's Tosh. I brought food.
Avatosh! It's good you came early. The feather clouds are getting lower. It's going to rain. Who is this with you?
This is Rook. She's a friend.
A friend. All right. Make sure you both dress for rain. Drip rain, not mist rain.
No good being stuck in the rain. You gonna be okay?
My shelter is enough. It's better for me than being inside.
Karash was a worker caste navigator. Got dragged along with the On-Tom when they invaded.
They told us it was ordered by the Qun. I was not taught war. I was taught the weather. Red clouds for thunder, gray clouds for rain, green clouds for the devouring storm, and black clouds for the On-Tom cannons. After what they did in Ventus, I ran away.
Be careful out here. We saw banners from On-Tom patrols.
I saw them. They did not see me. I will stay safe.
Okay. Let me know if they bother you.
I am at peace, Avatosh. I have the clouds to watch and fish to eat.
More than just fish. Here you go. Shathan said to eat the fruit before it spoils.
I like the cookies better.
Everyone likes the cookies better.
I'll eat the fruit. Thank you, Avatosh.
Panahe done. I'll see you soon.
So the dragon hunter has a softer side.
The Qun says you take care of people.
So you're a little Kunari, a little Rivaini, and a little dragon?
Yeah?
I get that.
Come on. I should tell my mother how Karash is doing. So how do you get it?
I had to leave my old life behind when I joined the Grey Wardens. Then I had to leave that to help stop Solus. So you take what works from each part, right?
Yeah. I had to take Kunari language classes growing up. I had to learn how to tie these stupid knots. It wasn't so bad when the Kunari and Ravain were at peace. Now the On-Tom have broken from the Qun and started attacking. People look at me like they're scared I'll switch sides.
That's their loss. People who have only ever been one thing will never know how big the world is.
Yeah? Maybe. Mother, what are you doing here?
You used to call me Tama.
I also used to wet the bed. Want me to start that up again?
I'd rather you didn't. You know what I meant.
She always did like the grumpy ones.
In truth, Evitash's tastes are quite varied, although it is uncommon for her to be attracted to men.
Mother.
Perhaps because in some ways, she acts more like a man herself.
Why are you here?
I came to ask Karash about the tablet your group recovered. I wondered if some of the symbols might be used among the Antam.
Be gentle. Don't make him talk about the war.
I see the wisdom of your suggestion. I also see that you used your fire again. Chakra Toebra.
Chakra Toebra.
Remember to keep your consonants crisp. Kunari do not slouch, and neither does our language. Panahedan, Evitash. You did well bringing Karash his food.
Sorry. She's like that.
She's very involved in your life.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet Karash.
Yeah. It was.
That sleeps here, dweller. Death and blight have not tempered its rage.
Corruption. Undead. I'd say we found out who's responsible.
Benoras, look out!
Take it down!
Just the tear. The blight.
That should weaken it.
Finished. I'm ready. Tell me what you need. His back. Turn. It's healed again?
It's weakening the Fade tab. Keep going. That should weaken it.
As you said. Nice move, bro. That's how Wardens get it done. I'm there. Happy to help.
They're gone. The Fade Tear and that... All that's left is its essence. The Revenant's essence feels darker, more powerful. It must be protecting something big. We should look around for a door it might fit.
Balara, how is it you're the first Veil jumper I've ever met?
Oh, well, we're new. Just started up recently. You know, when Arleth and Forrest started going all weird.
When was that?
Little bit before Elgranon and Gillenane showed up.
That can't be a coincidence.
Lines up nicely, doesn't it? Well, not nicely, but it lines up.
Wait. The lyrium dagger's vibrating like a song in a wine glass. Are those voices?
Striking the crossroads without forethought would be folly. The rebellion controlled it for far too long. Its defenses will be artfully hidden.
You will not press? Our forces are cunning and sharpened.
Fen'Harel's spite is endless, and his trickery not easily overcome. He will have traps in wait. A crossroads in ruin is no good to us.
That was Elganon and Gillenane. Were we eavesdropping on the past?
Here in the crossroads, the dagger must be able to overhear them. Just a little.
Let's hope it doesn't work both ways.
Now you see, Dweller. The gods hunger to reclaim this place. Their minions scavenge what the wolf left behind. They turn his regrets to weapons and blight all they touch. If the Evenuras take the crossroads, darkness will fall.
Spell it out for me. Exactly what happens if the gods reclaim the crossroads?
The fade flows through these ancient ways. Spirits and demons, dreams and magic. Now, imagine all blighted.
Like I needed another reason to stop them. Nothing worse than unwelcome house guests. Consider them evicted.
You are not like the wolf.
No, I'm not.
A revenant is destroyed. Others remain. Fight on, Dweller. The blight must wither.
This door. I think the essence we took from that revenant might be our way through.
Then it's a key. Maybe the gods are hiding something.
On your guard. Done.
Look at that. The elven parts of these ruins aren't just bits from the Fade. We actually lived here.
It's another of those statuettes. The memory fragments. And it's just sitting there. Ambush! The arm, Tom. I knew it!
Hitting us from range!
Trouble behind you!
You got it! Ranged incoming!
Coming in range! No problem.
Trap. That statue was a fake. But if the Fade is mostly reflections of something else, the real one could be close. Phantom are trying to cut us off.
Then we're on the right track.
We're getting good at this. You bet. Laura, nice. Good to go.
Another of those Fen Harel altars. There. I'd say that's where we're headed.
Trouble coming. Heading up for range.
Watch the ranged attack! Nice hit, Rook.
You can tell this statuette is the real thing, a memory fragment, and not just because it was very well guarded.
What do Veil jumpers usually eat?
Whatever Arlethan Force provides, pretty much.
So, a lot of grilled hollow then.
Bite your tongue.
I'm kidding.
It's mostly plants. Lots and lots of plants, with the occasional salad on the side.
Got company. Over there.
Ready for a follow.
I sense a way through, Dweller. Find that which seals the path.
So, Tosh.
Okay, Balara, what's your lead on getting us a fate expert for the team?
Good evening.
Greetings.
Rook, so we need a fate expert. I've been writing to a senior mage who fits the part. But right now he's on an expedition, so I reached out to his colleagues to find him. This is Lady Myrna and Vorgoth. They're necromancers. Mournwatch ones, I mean.
Your friend's request for a fate expert was urgent. How darksome are things outside Navarra?
Very.
I see. Balara's correspondent is Professor Emmerich Volkarin, a fate expert and powerful psychagogue.
You will need him.
Where can I find him?
The Professor is currently delving the shrouded halls in the Grand Necropolis. We will grant you passage to look for him. Where the dead. Lately, they grow restless.
This is it. But no sign of the Professor.
I hope he's here and that he doesn't mind us disturbing him. He is a senior necromancer. I don't... Oh!
What a marvelous surprise! Any trouble with the lift? Our last guests were stuck for hours. Poor souls. Oh. Professor Emmerich Volkaren of the Morn Watch.
Hello, Professor. We've never met. Well, in person, but I've been writing to you.
Belara, my dear girl. What a pleasure. Surely you didn't come all this way just to see me.
Actually, we did. You see, we need a Fade expert.
I'm Rook.
Charmed.
I liked that bit with the flaming skull.
It's nothing, really. Just an evocation of the flame of the last steps.
That looks great.
Thank you. You know, I'm never quite sure how these spells strike someone from outside Navarra. I'd be pleased to continue our conversation after I tend to some small business here. I must investigate. Would you two mind accompanying me further into the shrouded halls?
Toward that screaming?
Something's gone awry in this part of the necropolis, Rook. The dead stir more easily than they should.
Up ahead.
Strange. These halls should be under the protection of the bell.
Is that a despair demon?
Fascinating, isn't it? They shouldn't be able to breach the shrouded halls at all.
Take your word for it.
It singled you out.
Where'd everyone go?
Discover why that spirit manifested here.
Lead the way, Professor.
Someone's barred the door and chained the sunken star.
There's undead here.
We may need to defend ourselves, depending on their condition.
Haven't fought undead in a while.
There's no reaching these. They're mindless.
What does that mean?
I'm afraid sometimes the weaker dead work themselves into frenzies. I must free that bell.
Need some help?
Thank you. The star, the bell, can banish these despair spirits if we unchain it. We'll need a wisp to unseal the doors leading out. Could you please find one and bring it here?
Okay. How?
Give your greetings, and the wisp will follow.
Hello.
Wisps are the simplest of spirits, but quite helpful. Bring the wisp here, and we can unseal the doors.
Doors open. Where to now?
This should lead us to the upper chambers, where we can free the bell. There's someone I'd like to consult with on the way.
I hope we can help here, Professor.
You already have, Bellara. And it's just Emmerich. Please.
Great, Professor.
I assume your visit has to do with recent upheavals we've sensed in the Fae?
Oh, just a little.
Trouble coming.
It's a fight then.
This magic, it drains everything around it.
Echoes of the despair spirits, misery devouring itself. We should keep our distance. If provoked, these manifestations will shatter.
This is locked too. And I didn't see any wisps around.
Then I shall call for aid.
Can't do that.
They've answered. We'll need to go.
The wisps who've just arrived to the door.
Those wisps really came just because you asked.
They care for us, Rook. Our ever-loyal friends amongst the dead. Strange. This door shouldn't be here.
Shouldn't it?
The necropolis rearranges itself every so often.
There's the last wisp.
Good. Let's return to the door. Well done. Past these chambers, we'll find some assistance with reaching the bell. Despair is far more pervasive than I'd thought. We must stop who's ever drawing these spirits here, Rook.
You think a person's behind all the despair demons?
Oh yes. Mortals are their prime attraction. There's a fight ahead.
Hitting us from range. You gotta move. Ranged incoming. You got it.
Well done.
How do we get rid of all these despair demons?
Their source is near the bell you saw earlier. Ringing it will banish them, but we must find who lured them there in the first place. Tell me, Rook, where are you from?
I trained with the Wardens in Neanderthals.
Home to the fortress of Weishaupt. I've heard stories. You must tell me about your journeys once we're above ground. Here we are. This is where we'll learn who summoned these despair spirits.
But how?
You must open yourself to possibilities while in the necropolis. Would you mind lighting those braziers? Tis Rook. Unseal our final pass to the bell. It's best we unchain it quickly.
What's it do exactly?
The sunken star will drive away despair. Any malicious spirit that hears the tolling of the bell will be banished to the Fade.
Oh, that'd be helpful in Arlethan, but I bet it only works here, doesn't it?
Quite correct. The bell would be inert, outside the necropolis.
Still, I bet the principles could be replicated.
Approach the body and we'll begin. By seal and flame, who brought despair in our midst? Despair? Who brought it here?
Venatori.
The Venatori. Of course. This way, please.
What did you just do?
The colloquial term is corpse whispering, a gift that manifested with my magic.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Honestly, I've no idea how the other Watchers navigate the necropolis without it.
Shh. I think I hear someone.
This map is useless. We wasted 3 slaves in those traps. If that Hand of Glory burns down...
So don't dawdle.
We found those Venatori.
They have no place in these halls.
What are the Venatori after? Gold? Artifacts?
Raw magic. Their first envoys were obsessed with gathering power for some new masters.
Ah, I'll fill you in on them later. Down one more despair demon. That's the last of them.
I see someone by the crates.
I don't think they're Venatori. This looks interesting.
Spirit labyrinths? I didn't know they'd learn to make miniature ones into Winter.
Hello? Did the Venatori bring you here?
They said I'd spilled the wine too many times. That I'd be a better sacrifice than slave.
You are in Navarra, sir. There are no slaves on our soil. Please remain here. After we've seen to the rest of the Venatori, I'll send for someone to escort you above.
Oh, all right.
Those Venatori dragged that man down here just to die.
The Watchers will shelter him. We'll inquire if he has any family in Minrathous. As for the Venatori, what remains of them will be put to work.
What's this?
A vessel to store the magic the Venatori intended to siphon away from us. The Sunken Star can help us if we break the Venatori's chains.
Right. There's one chain.
Excellent.
Kill them all, but save the living.
Watch your back.
It's over.
That's the last chain.
We must return to the lower level to ring the bell. Be ready. The ritual to wake the bell will draw Despair's attention.
And any more Venatori?
I'll need you to keep them occupied while I work.
There's the Venatori.
Typical of them. Now, the Grand Necropolis shows itself!
Worked! Those despair demons are just gone.
Pretty impressive.
Thank you, but come, let's ensure these cultists didn't leave anything dangerous behind. I'll ask our attendants to gather their bodies later, of course.
And this is a severed hand.
It can't be. A hand of glory? The Venatori should never have this. I must find out where it came from. Let me know when you'd like to return to the chambers above.
Let's get back to the lighthouse.
You can tell me why you've sought out a Fade expert on the way?
I know it's a lot, but I swear we've seen the blighted elven gods ourselves.
It would explain recent Oniric disruptions.
At the least. The implications of what Rook's witnessed are... Ah, thank you, Manfred.
No one ever brings me tea after a slog through a haunted crypt.
My assistant, Manfred. Always thoughtful.
You spoke of danger to the Fade.
The elven gods plan to tear it wide open to get to the Blight. And they've already messed with it. Demons, tears in reality. Our team needs a Fade expert.
Many Watchers never depart Navara. But with events so dire...
I'd be delighted to assist.
It has been many years since you left us.
Well, yes, but elven gods, ancient magics. I couldn't bear miss this. Besides, I've spent my life exploring the Fade and speaking to spirits. If Rook needs an expert, none are better qualified than I.
Only if your assistant's coming.
Manfred? But of course.
Welcome aboard.
Wonderful. I'll gather my things. Come, Manfred.
The Grand Necropolis was at peace again, and Emmerich was off to a new adventure. But in Navara, nothing stays down for long. The Venatori had unearthed something no one should have, and delivered it to the worst possible person. Emmerich's journey would soon bring him face to face with the gloaming lantern.
What the Venatori ultimately intended with their incursions into the necropolis worries me. Whether or not it was directed by the gods, the timing serves them well. Chaos, I fear, is their ally.
With this, Demeter's Crossing and the Blighted Dragons, and everything else we're all dealing with, feels like we're at war. A lot of little wars.
They want a war? We'll damn well give them one.
You need an army to fight a war, though. They've got two. The Venatori and Antam wasted no time allying themselves with the gods. Power at any cost.
So how do we fight back, then?
We don't have an army, but we do have allies. Like the Veil Jumpers.
After Demeter's Crossing, it's personal for them.
The Shadow Dragons, particularly after we helped save their city.
A debt the Viper will repay soon.
Also, Lady Morrigan requested a meeting at the Cobbled Swan in Minrathous.
Could she have found some trace of the gods?
Probably. Morrigan doesn't visit crowded taverns for fun.
I also heard from Grey Wardens out in the Hossberg wetlands, Antoine and Evka. Something strange is happening with the Blight there. I bet it involves the gods.
Any details on the Blight in the wetlands?
No. But you know how Antoine's normally got nice, neat handwriting?
Yes.
Could barely read his note. He's either excited, scared, or both.
The First Warden hasn't been thrilled with how I'm carrying out my duties.
So are you a new one, huh?
If we go to the wetlands, I'm hoping the First Warden's safely over in Weishaupt.
Couldn't say. Still, you can't get in any more trouble with the Order than you already are.
Yeah. Gillinane has laid low since we hurt her dragon, but the Blight spreads rot wherever the gods go.
And no one's better at tracking Blight than Wardens.
Morrigan and those Wardens feel like our best leads on finding the gods.
Are they really gods? Or just ancient mages? It's not clear.
They're gods. In their power and wrath, at least.
Lucanus, you're back.
I am.
Good to have you back. This is Professor Emmerich Volkarin, our Fade expert, And Tosh, our dragon hunter. They joined while you were away.
Hey.
Charmed.
Right. Not everyone has met.
So, a dragon hunter. Treviso could have used you.
What's happening there?
It's just... people blame you for what happened to Treviso, Rook. But they did not have to make that choice, knowing what the gods are capable of. There was no recall. Still, it changes things. How could it not?
But you're back with us.
Yes, here to stay.
Good to have you back. Whatever the circumstances. Everyone needs to be part of this. That's the only way we'll win.
After what they did to Treviso, I want these gods to fall. I don't see anyone else with a better chance than you. My blade's yours. Until the end.
Great. Let's follow up on some leads.
I'll let Lady Morrigan know we're ready to meet.
I'll send word to Antoine and Evka. They're holed up in a town called Lavendel.
Everyone else should rest up. Be ready to move when I call.
Never easy, is it, kid?
What do you mean?
Making the big choices, then living with the consequences.
If I don't make the tough decisions, no one else will. So I live with the consequences.
And you don't blame anyone else for them. That's why I recruited you. Anyway, you've got a meeting with Morrigan to attend, and dealing with whatever the Warden's found. All this chatting is taking it out of me. Think I'll rest for a bit. Good work, Rook. You'll find your way through this. I know it.
A third edition of the Unnameable Elements? I didn't even know it had editions.
Oh, it's much improved with the index. Please, borrow it if you'd like.
I'd love to. Oh, Rook, you probably wanted to say hi. Thanks, Professor.
You look moved in.
Just a few essentials. Manfred was a great help with the boxes. What a fascinating place this lighthouse is. What do you make of it?
Early on, it mostly felt empty. But it's gotten more homey with each new person.
For all its grandeur, the lighthouse does seem meant for company.
Did you get the tour yet?
Oh, I've been exploring, but I noticed a few of the others taken aback by Manfred, and I overheard remarks about my skulls. My necromancy won't cause any undue worry, will it?
We'll be fighting weirder stuff than necromancy.
Ah, that's the hope. Please excuse me. Manfred and I should finish our inventory. Thank you for stopping by. By the way, Rook, before I left, Myrna and Vorgarth asked if we could assist with an outbreak of hauntings across Thedas. They also mentioned displaced wisps in the necropolis. I'm not sure what's frightened them, but it bears investigation.
Hauntings and scared wisps? Let's look into it.
Thank you. We'll depart for the necropolis whenever you're ready.
Can't do this without a wisp.
voices many wanderers, life returns to the lighthouse.
It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats. Or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it. When he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
Well, at least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
Sounds like the perfect soldier. And even flies.
Aerial cavalry. A full-grown griffin is a force of nature. Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that?
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters. Still young. Pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight. But I wonder if there's another path for them.
I don't know. It's like asking a fish to crawl on land. It might work at first, but it's not gonna end well.
Fair point. Griffins are darkspawn hunters at heart.
This one sure takes after his dad.
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about? Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats. Or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it. When he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
Well, at least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
Sounds like the perfect soldier. And even flies.
Aerial cavalry. A full-grown griffin is a force of nature. Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that?
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters. Still young. Pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight. But I wonder if there's another path for them.
I'd like to think everyone can find a new path. Even griffins.
Just wish I knew what it was.
Doesn't every good parent?
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about? Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
They've got the relic vault squared away well enough.
Do we have the latest scouting report?
You want bits and bobs for just the right price. Back alive. No coin in dead customers.